And that's heavy work. And many, many years ago, I needed to find an outlet for the heaviness that I carried through that work. And I found music, and I found my voice, and I found Carrie Souza, president of the Aragon Foundation. And I also found Michael Aragon, who is the namesake of the Aragon Foundation. In more than 25 years of service in social services, of working with youth and families across the Bay Area, I have certainly witnessed many, 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 many times, of course, the resilience and amazing, amazing capacity of children to overcome trauma and abuse, neglect, circumstances over which they had no control themselves. And that resilience so many times has come through mentorship and community and finding venues for self-expression. And that is exactly the reason that I stand here before you today. In music, I was very fortunate to meet Michael Aragon many years ago. Michael Aragon, who, for those who never knew him, was an incredible human first and foremost. Phenomenal human being. He was also a drummer, and he toured the world for many, many years, but eventually he returned home to Sausalito, where he took up a residency as the house drummer with his quartet, his jazz quartet, at the No Name Bar in Sausalito. Familiar, I hope, to some. At the No Name Bar for almost 37 years. And he played every Friday night. And he brought so much joy and so much love to so many people through that. And Michael, as I said, first and foremost, was a phenomenal human. And Michael also had an amazing sense of family and community. And frankly, I'm not even sure how many children he helped mentor, raise, love, bring into this world and raise them up and come into their lives later. And it didn't matter who they were. It didn't matter how he found them. He shared his heart and his love. And he knew and he understood the power and the transformative power of performing arts and of arts in general. And in fact, he performed several times at fundraisers for Marin County foster youth. And he also donated a lot of proceeds from his tips, from his gigs, to the Marin County Foster Care Association to support kids in foster care as well. It was a mission near and dear to his heart. And so, unfortunately, Michael passed in 2024, finally succumbing to Parkinson's, but not before he did many, many amazing things. He founded the Jazz and Blues by the Bay series in Sausalito.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, for bringing music and joy to so many people.
I love it.
As well as, like I said, supporting foster youth in Marin County, and he continued to play far beyond what anybody could possibly imagine, because he talked about how when he played, he rose above the pain that he felt in his physical body, and he achieved that sense of joy and community and peace that only that kind of self-expression, that kind of creativity could bring. And so, because Michael was known for his incredible heart, for his love and his ability to spread that love and to share that with youth, and his belief in the healing power of music and of arts in general, that is why Carrie and I began the Aragon Foundation, and why we are here tonight. Our mission at the Aragon Foundation is to provide equitable access to music, art, and dance education for every child in Marin County. We're starting there. We have big dreams to grow even bigger than that. But for now, we're starting with Marin County, and music, art, and dance education for all of our especially underserved populations in Marin. And yes, we have them. We do. 20 years of working in Marin County in social services, I can tell you very much we have them, because that's who I have spent my career serving. There are many, many affluent pockets in Marin, of course, much of Marin. And yet there are many, many children and families living below the federal poverty line in Marin. And those kids from neighborhoods who are not served, like Marin City or the Canal neighborhood of Santa Fe, Northern Hamilton, West Marin, they don't have access to the same opportunities as the other kids in other neighborhoods and in other cities like Tiburon and other places where the wealth resides. And so at the Aragon Foundation, we seek to level that playing field. We seek to provide funding to support programming in those areas especially, but also all across Marin, to make sure that every child has the opportunity to express themselves and to heal through the creative arts. I've worked with thousands of kids in my career. 20-something years, it adds up. And there are ones that stick with you, certainly, and the ones that teach you, certainly. And there was one such young girl, I'll call her Jacqueline for now, who made such an impression. She's one of the reasons that I stand here today as well. Jacqueline, when I met her, came into foster care after suffering very significant abuse by several members of her family. And she came in and she was about 10 years old, and she was shy, and she was withdrawn, she was depressed, she was anxious, she was isolated. And her foster parents encouraged her to just try out something that would get her out of the house, that would get her in contact with other people. And so she started to attend ballet classes with her older foster sister, who was already studying ballet. And Jacqueline fell in love. Jacqueline started to dance. She started to blossom. I watched her over the next couple of years turn from this little cringing child into this beautiful, confident young woman. She learned that her body was once again her own. It had not been.
Yes.
She learned that she was strong. She learned that she was capable. She learned that she could do hard things. She learned that she was able to express things with her movement and with her body. She absolutely could not with her words. And that's the way trauma works, by the way. It doesn't go through the language processing centers. It has to find other ways. And for Jacqueline, it was dance, and it was ballet. And she became such a beautiful dancer, she was chosen to go study in Boston, the Boston Ballet. Yes, for several summers she went and she studied. And she came back and she performed, and I went to one of her performances in Marin, and this was not the child I met on day one. She was an incredible, incredible young woman who was, as I said, strong, graceful, powerful, confident. She was bubbly, she was energetic, she was funny. All those things had just been waiting to be released, and it was through dance that she was able to access that and learned how to express herself. And so I think of Jacqueline. She went on to study, and actually, I lost track of her at some point. That's the way the job works. You work with them for a time, and then they move on. And so I don't actually know the end of that story, but I know the beginning and the middle, and I know what a transformation that she was able to make, and it was all thanks to being able to participate in the arts. And the only reason that she was able to participate in the arts was because somebody else funded it for her. Social services doesn't have money for ballet class. There's no budget from the state or the feds to take painting classes or martial arts or any writing classes. That doesn't exist. And so we rely on schools and community agencies to provide these things, but of course, they don't have the budget either. And so we're all depending on the larger community for support to make these things happen. And that's Jacqueline's story. Is extraordinary, and in my career it is extraordinary, but she is only one of so many kids who need that opportunity and deserve that opportunity. So tonight, here in partnership with Drawbridge, another incredible sidebar, incredible program that actually I worked with. When I first began my career 26 years ago working in homeless services in the city, I was in and out of shelters in this city for quite a while, and Drawbridge was there. Even then, Drawbridge was there providing arts education for youth. So in partnership with Drawbridge tonight, we stand before you to say, the arts heal. The arts save. The arts change lives. And that every single child has and needs and deserves the opportunity to participate in those arts just as much as anybody else.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
So here at the Aragon Foundation, we are working on a couple of things already. I'll tell you briefly about them because you'll hear more about them in a few moments when we start doing paddle raise. And one of those projects is with Miss Kelly. You heard Miss Kelly. Did you hear that voice? Did you hear that voice? Miss Kelly and her dreams and our project, our collaboration to bring a youth choir to the Marin City community.
Yes.
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 To offer options, to offer dreams and mentorship and community as well as instruction. And another project we're really excited about is a partnership with an organization in San Rafael called Enriching Lives Through Music in the Canal neighborhood. Yes. And they're already out there providing music education for youth, and we are partnering with them to also bring in a dance component and to involve families. Because also one thing we want to strengthen is our families. So bringing a dance component alongside the music to further enrich those programs and the opportunities that kids in those programs have. We're working on something up in Novato. The Marin School of the Arts is an incredible program, and they already have really great instruction happening, but more kids need access. Not everybody can afford the lessons, the equipment, the things that you need to participate, and the Aragon Foundation wants to be there to help them expand their programming and expand their access. And then of course there's everybody else. There's all the other kids in Marin, in those neighborhoods and others outside those agencies that we want to support achieving their creative dreams, finding them. Maybe they don't even know, but take a ballet class and see what happens, right? So linking them up with our partners who are instructors of all different kinds in Marin County and making that happen and breaking down barriers like transportation or equipment, instruments, whatever they need to get there and do the thing. Let's do the thing.
Yeah.
Yep, let's do
Let's
it.
do the thing. So actually today is Michael Aragon's heavenly birthday. And so I was thinking perhaps we could raise a quick glass to Michael Aragon and the legacy that we seek to keep alive of compassion, community, enrichment, access, equity, and love.
It's all about the love, baby.
Because, as he used to say, and as is memorialized on a memorial bench in Sausalito, if you ever find yourself out there and you want to look at the water and just sit and relax for a minute, there is a bench with his name on it, and it says the one thing that he always used to say, which I'd like for all of us to keep in mind tonight as we hear a little bit more and as we have a chance to give back. It's all about the love, baby.
Yeah.
So here is Michael Aragon, and it to it being all about the love for all of our kids. Thank you so much for being here.